right, hello wine drinking people. Time for more of what I've had to drink yesterday. Back on the job here after my trip, and a lot of people stopping in. I guess they missed me while I was gone. Well, these are our friends from Small Vineyards, and visit from Greg Rivera. We haven't seen Greg for years, but it's good to see him land a job at such an interesting company. I've always been intrigued by this company in that they've got a lot of great products. They're very fairly priced. Most of them are under $20 a bottle or close to that retail. They got some expensive wine like the Kolos, but you got to wait to get to that. Got to wait to get to the Kolos. That's all the way at the end. We're starting out with Edi Simcic's Tokato, Slovenia. Man, that's right. This guy just makes mind-blowing wines. Open a bottle up, put it in your glass, close your eyes. You'd never guess it's from Slovenia, A, because you never had Slovenian wine, and it's so freaking good. You would think, man, this is French, this is, Italian, this is, United States, some, expensive wine. And these wines aren't cheap, but for $43, you get one of the best versions of Friulano, which they called this grape a number of different things over the years, but the folks from Hungary won out in the end, and they got to keep the name Tokaj, so they affectionately call it Tokato here in Slovenia. And this wine's got a really rich bouquet, Asian pear, kind of almond, citrus fruit, nice amount of minerality showing, wonderful richness and concentration on the tongue. You can just tell high quality wine by the concentration. That's all made in the vineyard. These guys use low yields to do that, older vines. On the palate, this wine's got a solid core of fruit, some tangerine, orange blossom floral notes, and a lovely tongue-tingly finish, that acidity and minerality drawing out at the end, adding length. An excellent juice, a great example of Tokato, Friulano, whatever you want to call it. All right, then the Vigna Guadagno, Greco de Tufo. Well, how you say that first word, Guadagno. Anyways, it's a new label. It's only 10 years old, and these guys are from Campania, one of the new sensations in the region, an ancient varietal. Thought to have originally come from Greece, but this wine hails from volcanic soils. You get a good amount of that dirt, that minerality, to the apricot-like fruit and white floral notes. Pineapple on the tongue, very clean, and that stone-driven minerality note lasting through the finish. Bit of tannins here. A lot of people don't associate white wine with tannins, but they do have to keep the juice in contact with the skins for a period of time. I just noticed a little bitterness at the end. Usually that's from the tannins, but excellent juice, a great example of this varietal, and a very reasonably priced wine at, well, $26.25. A little expensive for Small Vineyards. Anyways, Podere, Ciona, Montegrossi. And so this is a high-altitude vineyard located near the town of Canaiolo in Chianti. It's a blend of 88% Sangiovese, 10% Merlot, and 2% Alicante. Or is it 60% Sangiovese, 30% Merlot, 10% Alicante? Who should we believe, the label or the Small Vineyards press? Well, when it comes to Italian wine, I might believe the Small Vineyards folks, because I've had Italian producers in here, and I've read stuff off the label. They go, oh, no, that is not correct. Do not listen to the label. We will tell you what's in it. So you can't trust the Italians to put the correct blend on the label. Anyways, it doesn't matter. This is a very pleasant little wine, and you could call it a super Tuscan, really light bouquet of red berry fruit, some savory herbs, some red licorice spice, smooth on the tongue with some nice bit of that earth and light spice showing up on the finish, but that red berry fruit really the star here, drinking right out of the bottle. Very good. It's $16.50. That's what we come to know from Small Vineyards. Great pricing. Cantine, Altarocca, Librato, Cabernet Franc, and Canaiolo from Umbria. They do make some good wines in Umbria. They got Agriturismo here, a beautiful part of Italy, man. If you want to go and stay in a nice place, you may want to check this place out. They got a 1 Michelin star restaurant on the property, and the wine's pretty good too. This is a blend of 70% Cabernet Franc, 30% Canaiolo, made in a very fresh and approachable style. No oak here at all, just unadulterated fruit and a bit of spice here on the nose. You get that violet note, some nice richness, dark berry fruit on the palate, that violet floral note shown on the finish. Some tannins at the end. Cabernet Franc is a bit tannic, and could use a little bit of time. This wine, very young, 2014, if we can believe the vintage on the label. Everything in proportion, though. Very good little wine at $21. And then Podere, Ciona, La Diace. I probably murdered that one, too. I'm Italian, but I only speak a wine Italian, not no names. Anyways, it's a blend of 90% Merlot and 10% Alicante Boucher. We've reviewed this wine before. It is a little monster, really well-endowed bouquet, dark earth, black truffles, dark berry fruit, plums, tobacco spice, big and chewy on the tongue. This wine has got a lot of dark plum fruit from the Merlot there. Some of the dried meat characters. That Alicante Boucher gives you a little wild kind of game notes. and a long finish. Notes of espresso and bitter cocoa. Excellent juice at 33.75, and a little bottle age, the 07 there. And then a little Giuseppe Lonardi Privilegia Rosso Veronese. And man, this is a baby Amarone. This wine is delicious. A blend of 50% Corvina, the most important grape in Verona, and 50 Cabernet Franc. The Corvina is dried using the Appassimento style and brought up in barrel for 22 months. Just a beautiful bouquet here. Sweet cherry fruit, liqueur-like in concentration, incense spice, dried potpourri of flowers. Really pretty bouquet here, and sweet and liqueur-like on the tongue. This wine's got lovely richness. There's pretty floral and exotic spice notes lasting through the finish. Even better on the second day. Wow, this is excellent juice at 44.25. If you like Amarone and big, rich, juicy reds, you're going to love this wine. And then the Edi Simcic Kolos. I told you we'd get there. This wine is a barrel selection. They only make 600 bottles, a tiny amount. It's a blend of 80% Merlot, 10% Cabernet Sauvignon, and 10% Cabernet Franc. A top selection. The last vintage was 2006. This is 2009. The greatest wine made in Slovenia. I don't know if that's a lofty title, but let me tell you, this is a great wine from anywhere. Close your eyes. This wine is killer. It's my highest rating. It's got an incredible bouquet of blackberry, currant berry fruit, a full complement of oak spice, 4 years in barrique, that espresso, black tea, cinnamon stick, fresh earth, graphite, even more complex on the second day. This is a big and chewy wine. It's got an array of dark currant and plum fruit, plush tannins, and wow, this wine opens on your tongue from the center out like the world's great wines do. It just evolves and gets better and better as you sip on it. Long layered finish. This wine will last for decades in your cellar. The tannins are round and ripe, so it's somewhat approachable now, but I would hold on to this guy for another decade or more. Killer juice at $148.50. That's what we expect in wines in that price range. I'm your host, Andrew Lampasoni, signing off for the Wine Watch, saying remember, always drink the good stuff first.